Up third coming off. It's pretty good. I didn't really like it before, but the car's really driving good. You're not too busy, so we can go ahead and shift now.
All right, there's your points leader, guys. Currently in the third. Alan?
On Discover Card Countdown to Green, Bill Weber asked our NASCAR.com Race Talk poll which driver has the best chance of catching Sterling Marlin for the championship. Here are your responses.
143,000 people voted Mark Martin, Jeff Gordon, the two contenders or pretenders, whichever.
Which is interesting because Gordon is fifth in points. And the guys that are in third and fourth ahead of him and behind Mark Martin, people don't seem to feel like have as good a chance.
And Sterling Marlin being in second spot and Mark Martin back in the field. Huge gain if the race were to end now, but obviously we got a lot more racing to go.
Matt Yoakum, your turn.
Well, Alan, Marty mentioned that Lee McCall gets the Smart Guy Award. Well, Brian Petty gets the Smartest Guy Award because you guys were working a little bit of pit strategy there, weren't you?
Yes, my hat's off to Brian Petty. He called me in right when the rain. Actually, it was a lap before, but between the radios and Mark Martin beat me on the back bumper is all I could do just to keep it straight off at 3, and came in the next lap and caution come out. So now we're at the front of the field, so it's pretty cool.
Now, how was your race car running?
We were a little bit loose. We started out really good, passed a bunch of cars, and then I got a little bit too loose. But Brian, he made a whole bunch of adjustments there, and we haven't been loose since we've been here except for qualifying with a flat tire. So I just got to thank Papa Joe Hendrick, Rick Hendrick, and all these UAW and Delphi guys. We've had some tough luck lately, and we're just trying to finish this race. I mean, it's been terrible, but it's been a good weekend for us, and I think we're going to have a good shot. If Brian keeps making good calls like that, we're going to be in the front.
Maybe that is a sign that things are starting to change here for Joe Nemechek, Bill.
Well, I caught up with Ricky Rudd. What were you doing, hanging down at the car before you came back up here?
Well, just kind of discussing what's going on out there. We started getting beat pretty bad in the beginning of that race. And
I got to interrupt you. I got to talk. We've been eavesdropping, so we've been listening to you and McSwain talk it all over. What's it like out there with those guys that are shifting twice?
Well, right when we started the race, the racetrack was in real good condition, had a lot of grip, and it would favor a transmission where you shifted twice. In other words, you come out of the corner and you it really accelerates hard, which means it puts a lot of abuse to the rear tires. That's good when the racetrack's clean. When it gets a little greased up a little bit, then they can't really use that advantage. They've got that gear, but they can't just stand in the gas and rock it away like they did a while ago. At least that's what I'm hoping. I noticed when the track started getting black again, getting the rubber in it, we're listening to the split times. The leader's advantage wasn't as big. So I guess the greasier it gets, the better it is for us.
You've been analyzing everything, though. I mean, talking about horsepower and gear ratios and everything in that race car.
Well, just give these guys a good heads up. Give them all the info they can. And obviously, a lot of it, we can't change transmissions in the middle of a race. But it could really help them on some decisions later on in the race. Just really kind of give them a heads up. Comes down to the end of the race, and we've got a 10-lap sprint race. Do whatever they can, maybe pump the tires up a little bit more to free the car up a little bit to try to compete with that other gearbox ratio them guys have got.
Yeah, with the car you had here in June, that you want to finish someplace different than you did then.
Well, we had a dominant car. We led the most laps. We had to start dead last because we had a motor change. So everybody on the Haviland team worked hard, got the motor changed, and had to start dead last. Came all the way up through the field and led the most laps, and we're leading with 6 laps to go. And DJ was following us. It looks like it was going to be a 1-2 Yates finish, and we had a flat tire and brushed the wall, and our day was over with. But same car, but that just goes to show you how technology can change from one race to the next. I really think the advantage is not going to be as big as it was a while ago if we get back racing. But I don't see us winning this race if it comes down to a 10-lap sprint race, just simply because they're going to out-gear ratio us.
Okay, we're talking racing today, but you've had a big smile on your face. I have a feeling you and I might be talking other things maybe next week in Indianapolis or something.
Well, I certainly hope so. I can't stand the stress much of this anymore. I like to sleep a few nights, but, we got a lot of things working, and hopefully by Indianapolis, if not right before Indy, then right after Indy, things should be laid to rest. And, a lot of it, again, has been out of my control. I don't have a lot of say-so what happens on the 2018, but I've got to get my ducks lined up in a row just in case this doesn't work out. So I think hopefully we'll have something to announce right around Indy time, maybe right after that.
Okay, well, best of luck here at Pocono, and best of luck in the future.
Thanks, Bill.
That's Ricky Rudd. Started up front, hopes to finish up there. Alan?
Okay, Bill, Ricky running right now in 7th spot under the red flag, behind a couple of the guys who did not pit. And there's Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s car, 24 laps down, back in 41st position. On Friday, some of New York City's finest and bravest traveled south to North Carolina for a practice session with some of NASCAR's finest. These are members of the New York City Police and Fire Departments, who went to work with Walt Smith, the pit crew coach for Dale Earnhardt Incorporated, in a training session with the number 8 pit crew. This is for an August 8th competition when the police and fire departments will go head-to-head in a pit crew challenge in New York City. And on his way up to Watkins Glen, Dale Jr. is going to host this special event in Macy's Herald Square. These guys found out. There's Walt right there on the right, the pit crew meister. These guys found out that you got to be an athlete to go do this over the wall.
Not as easy as it looks like it's going to be. So now when's the other team going to get their chance to come down and practice?
That was both of them.
Oh, that was both teams.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
And the real team for the 8 car, they were getting some words of praise from their driver a moment ago as we eavesdropped.
That was a great fix, guys. Great job. It only took 21 laps.
Well, that wasn't Dale Jr. who was talking, but you get the message nonetheless. They did a great job to fix the car. Dave, how about it? You're with Dale Jr.
Well, and he's going to have some praise for him too, Alan. But look at the yard sale we could have right now. We got a power steering pump, we got an alternator, oil filter, got a water pump off the motor, got the radiator here. And Junior, these guys changed all this stuff on your car in like 31 minutes. How good are they?
Oh, they're awesome. I don't know if any of that's for sale. Some of it's probably still good.
Well, if you sign it, it will be.
Yeah, it'll be on eBay in 6 hours. Yeah, it's a tough wreck, and I'm, glad Steve's okay, and real tribute to my team. I mean, they're real gutsy bunch of guys, and we want to get back out there, for ourselves and for our fans, and whether we pick up another spot or not, we just don't try not to ever quit on ourselves. So it's it's a lot easier to go to work on Monday when you didn't give up. So
there's one piece missing here though. The guys told me it may end up on your wall. Did you take something away already?
Yeah, I already took the nose. I have a habit of taking all the tore up sheet metal and hanging it in my shop. So
why?
It just it's good stories, conversation pieces. But the nose is pretty spectacular. So that's going up there definitely. But hopefully get back out there and. This rain will quit. I mean, we were pretty disappointed. We just got the car back out on pit road, so one personal victory out of the way. We're going to get this race in, and we'll finish it.
Okay, so you'll go back out, timing and scoring. Basically, you'll watch that and find out whether or not you're going to pick up everything and then park it later on. Is that the idea?
We're just going to try to run as fast as we can. Actually, the front end ain't bent. The clip of my car went underneath Steve's car and didn't really bend the steering, so, seriously, chances are the car's going to drive pretty decent. Just as long as, it's not too bad off really aero-wise and the motor's not tore up.
All right, we'll find out when he and everyone else has a chance to get back out there. Marty?
Well, Dave, here are the yard sale items from Rusty Wallace's car. Right front spindle. This is the lower A-arm and the spring bucket right there that they took off of the car from the wrecks. Unfortunately, Rusty's car did not get fixed. They have about 20 more minutes worth of work, and this is the frustrating part. They have another red flag here. You see Jeff Thousand and Mike Garrett, some of the crew members sitting there trying to figure out how they're going to fix it. They cannot touch the car under the red flag, so all they can do is talk about what they're going to do. They can work on pieces that they're going to put on the car. They've already done that. They have about 20 more minutes to fix the 2 car and get it back out on the track, but that's the frustrating part of having a red flag.
Making a good plan here under the red flag will help you fix it a little faster.
And Jeff Thousand, he loves to work. That's got to be the hardest working guy in the pit area, and he must be just
chomping at the bit.
Chomping at the bit, just sitting there doing nothing.
Bolt it up, see about where we're going to be. If it's way off, then...
But you're right. Things will go faster now that they've been able to sit back and look at it, and they know exactly what piece they need and what's got to be changed. So things will go very quickly.
In a way, it eliminates the chaos of when that car comes back to the garage and everybody's trying to run around and assess the damage and figure out what the parts are. Now they've got a good plan, and they'll get it put back together. And it'll take them less time to do it than it might otherwise.
But there still is a lot of work to be done, as Marty said. It's not easy replacing those parts, and also trying probably to straighten the frame section out. I'm sure it's bent a little bit. They may not have to. It may not be bent badly enough. They have to straighten it out, get a machine out to straighten it.
It was starting to get kind of complicated here with all our what we was thinking.
We were watching some of that onboard camera from Ryan Newman's car a little while ago, and Wally and Benny were kind of curious about shifting, not shifting. We got a headset on him. How you doing, Ryan?
How you guys doing? Ryan, I was razzing you, man. That you had that thing twisted going into turn 1. Was that in 4th gear or was that in 3rd gear? Well, seeing as how both you and Benny are ex-race car drivers or current race car drivers, depending on your status. But I can't tell secrets. You're how many million viewers out here, and this is not even a third of the way through the race, and you guys are trying to figure out what we're doing. I know you're twisting that engine, so it must be working for you. But, I mean, I remember the last time I ran here, we used to only shift one time, and I would see 9400 go into, like, turn 2. And that thing lasted. I don't know how it lasted. So, but that was in third gear, not in fourth gear. So we must have missed something. If you're not going to tell us, then we're going to have to keep watching.
You just have to keep watching. The guys at the engine shop are doing a great job, and the guys here at the racetrack are doing a great job. We'll just see if the rain quits.
Ryan's trying to play international man of mystery on us.
Austin Powers.
Well, mate, we're going to go take a lap here, and you could probably listen. You may not want to listen to this, Ryan, but
it sounds pretty cool, don't it?
Yeah, it's humming. Here you are going down straightaway. And that hand never came off the steering wheel. But we cannot see the shifter.
What you can't see is there's a fourth pedal in there. It's connected to the transmission.
Okay. So we need a foot cam in your car.
And the tachometer is way off. Our tachometers are really way off.
Wow.
Sounds pretty cool, doesn't it?
It sounds good. Now, isn't it true, though, when you have that kind of gear and you can run the engine like that, you don't have to use as much brake, which I think is a big advantage here at Pocono. Because doesn't the engine, the RPM, slow you down a little bit better, and you don't have to use as much brake pedal getting in the corners?
Yeah, you get a little bit of engine brake, but, I mean, it all depends on what you're going for.
All right, well, good luck.
Thank you.
Have fun, Ryan.
We'll try.
Hopefully we'll get this thing back underway shortly. He didn't want to answer your questions,
No, he wasn't,
Wally.
but I'll get to the bottom of it.
Look at him laughing, too. Uh-huh. We have the evidence, though.
There goes the car cameras in that car.
Yeah.
And there goes the one truck carrying Steve Park's car back to Mooresville, North Carolina.
But fortunately, Steve is okay after that vicious crash on lap 1. Webb, are you wet yet?
No, I'm actually pretty dry, and Ken Schrader is pretty dry, too. Made the walk back to his hauler in the garage area, and you've got a commitment from a couple of guys, and you think Park and Earnhardt Jr. are trying to get out of it? What's up with that?
We're having a race at a racetrack at Peebly, Missouri, Wednesday night, sprints and late miles, and it's to benefit Kyle and Patty Betty's Victory Junction Camp gang. And we've had it planned for a long time. It's Kyle and myself and Johnny Benson and Mike Wallace and Bill Elliott and Steve Park and Dale Jr. And I told Jr. if he just didn't want to come, then he could just say so. But that was a pretty big deal to try to get out of it. But luckily they're both okay, and they'll be there. I was just worried about them when we came around, and not because of people.
Hey, Schrader, how about your buddy up in the booth?
Wally wants to know about your buddy up in the booth.
Oh yeah, I guess I need to talk to Alan.
Hey, for the people that aren't aware, tell everybody what you got going on. It is a charity race. It is for Victory Junction, and it's out at I-55.
Yeah, it's this Wednesday night at I-55, just south of St. Louis. We're running wing sprints and UMP late models, full-blown dirt late models. And then the Cup drivers are going to have an autograph session from 5 to 7 o'clock, and then we're going to do a 10-lap play race, match race with modifieds
on dirt
around intermission time. And it's just really good of the guys to commit to doing it for us. And like I say, we're doing it because of Kyle and Petty's.
Yeah, and that's your place out there?
That's at our place Wednesday. It'll be big.
There'll be a few fans there. How's your car here?
Car's pretty good. We struggled a little bit yesterday, and they made a bunch of changes, and I was stuck in the back. We did 2 tires, and we got a little bit of track position, and it doesn't feel bad, so I'm pretty optimistic about getting restarted.
Has Junior ever raced on dirt? Do you know, Ken?
Get back with me. He was there last year, and he stood up top, and he told when they asked him, he said he hadn't, but he could tell by watching him he'd be dang good at it.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you.
Ken Schrader, the biggest promoter of I-55 Raceway that there is. That should be fun Wednesday night. It's raining here at the racetrack. Who will stop the rain?